You dirty, dirty man.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? For First We Feast, I'm Sean Evans, and you're watching Hot Ones. It's the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. And today we're joined by Aubrey Plaza. You know her from standout roles in films like Ingrid Goes West, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, shows like Parks and Recreation, and many more. You can catch her in FX's Legion, which returns for its third season on July 1st, and she's very busy. She also stars in Child's Play, which is set to hit theaters this weekend. Aubrey Plaza, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
You once told BuzzFeed that your favorite pizza topping is hot and spicy peppers. Do you crank your wings too?
What? No, I said don't believe everything you read.
Right.
I've never talked to BuzzFeed a day in my life. I don't even know who that is.
So this first one is the classic, and we'll start at the handle.
At the handle?
Mm-hmm.
Of the wing?
Of this whole thing.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to watch me eat the whole thing, or?
If you'd like to. So all showbiz origin stories are insane in their own right, but especially yours, going from a waitress working in Queens to all of a sudden landing in Parks and Recreation, Funny People, and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World in the same exact week. Did cycling through jobs in the restaurant industry do anything to help you prepare for a career in Hollywood, or was it just a way to pay the bills while you sought out auditions?
It was kind of both. Like, every table was like a new performance, an opportunity for performance, you know? I didn't have to like be myself. I could be whoever I wanted to be and try to get as much money as I could. It was like a game. I like those kinds of games.
Which pre-fame job do you remember more fondly? When you were a hostess at Joe's Crab Shack, or when you were a cocktail waitress
Who
working
told
in a
you
bowling alley?
Who are you? I was a hostess, so I was in charge of announcing like the parties when they were ready. So I was on like the loudspeaker going like, Johnson, party of 6, do the crab walk all the way to the host stand. Your table's ready. Johnson, party of 6.
You still got it.
Thank you. But every time there were certain songs that would come on that the entire wait staff would have to do like a song and dance to, like 2 slides to the left, 4 hops this time. That whatever that song is.
Classic.
It gives me nightmares now. Sauce Bay.
So on the topic of the new movie, when you were growing up and working in the now defunct classic video store on Delaware Avenue, did you have an interest or nostalgia in the Child's Play, Hellraiser, Freddy Krueger, Golden Age and horror?
Not really, no. I didn't really have that interest. I wasn't really like a horror movie person ever, and I still not.
Do you believe in ghosts, or have you had any sort of spooky paranormal encounter? I know that you grew up next to a cemetery.
I thought you were going to say 7-Eleven, which is also true. I was like, yeah, I spent a lot of time in that parking lot. Yeah, I believe in ghosts. My cat was hit by a car, and then a couple weeks later crawled right out of the cemetery, right back onto our back deck. And, you know, when that happens, you just have to let her inside and go like, cool. I wonder if this is like your 7th life or your 9th one? Hot pepper sauce. It'd be really like not satisfying if I had just no reaction to any of these wings, right?
But it would also be pretty amazing.
Oh.
I know that you do have an
Does that
amazing
happen,
poker
though?
face. Well, I don't think anybody has ever sought out for that specific goal, but maybe you could be the
I'm
first
not
one.
trying to do anything here. I'm just eating whatever you tell me to. I just do whatever you tell me.
Okay. Try to keep a straight face as long as you can.
Okay.
So the fans would give us a red card and kick us off the internet if we didn't take a wing to discuss April Ludgate, your iconic character from Parks and Recreation. What do you think was the greatest on-set prank of all time, whether it was one of yours or someone else's?
I don't know if you would call it a prank, but Nick Offerman and Chris Pratt would like fart a lot.
The classic fart prank.
It's just like, sometimes farts are funny. I don't know. I guess they are. I just don't think they're that funny. And neither is Amy. And without fail, like anytime the two of them were in a scene together, they would like
Fart City.
rip one. Disgusting.
Right.
And it would make us so angry. And I would say like the best prank that I ever did was I bought a toilet goblin online, and I put it in Adam Scott's toilet in his trailer. If you don't know what a toilet goblin is, it's like a little like creature that its arms have like suction cups. So you like put it in the toilet and you suction cup its arms to the lid so that when you open the lid, it like jumps out at you. It's terrifying.
And then in her book, Yes Please, Amy Poehler said that Chris Pratt had the greatest audition that she's ever witnessed. Have you ever had a chance to see the tape?
I feel like they maybe showed that at the reunion, but I think I wasn't paying attention. I don't remember, but I'm sure it was good.
And then there's so many coveted pieces of Parks and Rec memorabilia, whether it's Leslie's Pawnee Goddess hoodie or the baseball bat that Nick Offerman had made for the whole cast. Do you have a most treasured tchotchke from your time on set?
Yes, I have. Well, I stole Janet Snakehole's like cigarette holder. So I have that. I keep that in my backpack at all times in case I need it. Oh, I have Andy Dwyer's aviators, and I don't take care of them at all. They're just like flung in a drawer in my kitchen. I could probably sell those someday if things don't go well for me, which they won't. Number 4 already.
And straight face all the way through. So as we touched on a little bit today, you went
I do feel like it's all in my teeth though. That's disgusting.
I'll tell you.
Am I allowed to drink?
Sure. You have milk, we have water. You got a coffee cup full of something?
I'm just gonna have some coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I like black coffee with my spices.
It's one of the great mixes.
God, it burns so good.
So as we touched on a little bit today, you went from relative obscurity to almost overnight starring alongside some of the biggest names in entertainment. But was anything more intimidating than following Adam Sandler your 4th ever time doing stand-up?
No, that was one of the most fucked up nights of my life because Judd Apatow totally duped me. He invited me to the Comedy and Magic Club in Hermosa Beach and was like, just come with the cast with Jonah and Adam and like you can watch them. We'll just kind of get into it. And then backstage, he came up to me and he was like, you're going on next. You're following Sandler. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And then Adam came up to me and was like, you're gonna die out there. That's exactly what he said. He went, you're gonna die. And he hadn't done stand-up in like years at that point. So the audience gave him a standing ovation when they just announced his name. He hadn't even said anything yet. And I was sitting behind the curtain going, this is not gonna go well for me.
How'd it go for you?
You know what? It went great. I think when you have nothing to lose, it actually works in your favor because I didn't have any credits at that time. So when they announced me, they just said like, and now we have Aubrey Plaza from Wilmington, Delaware. And that was like my announcement. Los Calientes.
The halfway mark here.
Okay. I have a little bit of stuff coming out of my nose. Does that make you feel good?
It does.
You get pleasure out of this, right?
Yeah, it's all I have.
Can I pick it on my teeth?
I'm similarly empty inside. You know, I need this.
You just want you want someone else to feel something, so you can feel.
Exactly. We have a recurring segment on our show called Explain That Gram, where we do a deep dive on our guest Instagram, pull interesting pictures that need more context. So I'll bust out the laptop. I'll show you the picture. You just
from my Instagram?
Yep.
All right.
You just tell me the bigger story. Does that sound good?
Which one? Which account is it? My public one?
Well, I can't get into your private one.
Good.
All right, here you are hugging the Jeff Goldblum Jurassic Park statue. Where is security? Did you get tasered or what's going on here?
Well, if you look at the picture closely, you see that woman in the yellow shirt is in mid action to come and escort me off the premises. His chest is exposed and the light was just hitting it a certain way. I just felt like I needed to touch it. You're only in London and standing in front of a giant Jeff Goldblum statue once in your life.
Right.
So I just felt like it's now or never, baby.
Had to seize that opportunity.
Got to get into that as close to the nipple as possible.
Do you have a lasting memory from your summer with Zac Efron?
I guess like when I think about that shoot, all I remember is just like I have these like images of Zac with like a TRX like rig on like a palm tree, just like pumping iron in between takes. And I just remember like standing like off to the side going like, that's a movie star right there. That's the shit. I'll never be that, but I'll be close to it, as close as I can.
Do you have a crowning athletic achievement from your time with the Pistol Shrimps?
How long do we have?
I'm here.
I went through a lot on that team. Is it an achievement to tear your ACL on the court? Because that happened to me.
That means that you're pushing it to the limit.
I pushed it to the limit, and not only did I tear my ACL, but I was in full disguise. I was wearing a wig and goggles and playing under a different name because legally I was not allowed to play on that team at the time. So I was in disguise, and the joke ended up being on me because I ripped my ACL in half and had to go to a hospital.
One more for you.
Grumpy Cat.
How could you bring Grumpy Cat up right now at a time like this?
Because it's important that we don't forget Grumpy Cat.
Yeah, we can't, because Grumpy Cat died
Mm-hmm.
a week ago. I'm still grieving. And you know what's messed up about that is I had written a movie for Grumpy Cat and I to star in. And now what am I gonna do without the cat?
All right, well, I'm sorry.
R.I.P.
I'm sorry I brought it up.
Hellfire.